1, Episode 6, Starving Marvin. I will admit that right now my computer's acting really funky for some reason, so this episode's gonna be really shaky. I don't know why. Also, I just kind of realized that in pretty much all of my videos, I look like a little boy. Okay, honestly, I just do these more in my downtime, so I don't really care that I look like crap, but at the same time, I do realize that for some reason I look crappier than usual, or at least I feel that way. My hair is just, Okay, but something that made me super happy that I got in the mail today, was this delightful thing that I bought from China, and I saw it on eBay, and I had to buy it. Can you see it? Yes, you can see it. You can see it. I don't know, I love the video games, so I bought the poster, as you can see. And there's the alien UFO in the background, Cartman's in the middle. I think one of my favorite touches to this is, you can't really see it. Here, one of my favorite touches to this poster thing is in the background behind Butters, it says Tom's Rhinoplasty. I don't know, that always kind of made me smile. And maybe it's because this thing's from China, but it's not printed on paper, it's printed on that weird fabric-y stuff? Whatever. Like, it makes me happy. I'm gonna put it up in my room tonight. And, I'm not in my room. I am in my living room, so that's the new TV. It's a lot. It's pretty big. Anyways, yeah, and over here's my kitchen. Anyways, okay, so Starvin Marvin, sorry for the weird introduction. Starvin Marvin actually was the Thanksgiving special of South Park, and they aired it on Thanksgiving, which, well, what do you expect? So, a first in this episode was Starvin Marvin. We got to meet him. But it's really interesting because I don't think he ever shows up or comes up ever again. He's not even in the video game. I mean, I think this is the only time we ever see Starvin Marvin, quite honestly. Maybe he makes a cameo in other episodes, but he's just not there. But anyways, so themes. One theme that I found interesting was what I will call the humiliation of the poor. Kenny, who is the poorest kid in South Park, and his family is the poorest family of South Park. I don't know. I just feel as if, and I just kind of noticed it right now, but it's pretty much throughout the entire show. They always kind of point out how a lot of times in society the poor is humiliated. I kind of say that because Kenny, he had to be in like the cash grab in order to get it was like a cash grab, but instead of trying to catch money that was floating by, he had to catch cans, and that was for food for Thanksgiving for his family. I don't know, it's just sometimes I think that in society in general, we find people who are poor and then we kind of use them. So we could be like, yeah, we're doing tons of stuff for the poor, and look how great I am because I'm helping the poor. So, like, in a way, you're using them to make yourself look better, and that always kind of bothered me. And it's not just poor people, it's also with people who have disabilities that I feel as if they're just kind of used all the time. Another theme is killer turkeys, and Mephisto, he genetically engineered turkeys despite the fact that in a few episodes before, he said he wasn't going to touch genetic engineering again. And even at the end of the episode, he was like, maybe I shouldn't toy with God's creation and blah, blah, blah. And then Chef was like, yeah, shut up, whatever. But I will say that, what if turkeys did, like, get super pissed off and try to kill all of us on Thanksgiving? I personally don't really like turkey. I think it's dry, but still, like, what if turkeys just flipped a switch and tried to kill each and every one of us? That would be interesting. Also, another thing that's probably worth noting that Mephisto said in the episode, I knew you were the only, like, he was talking to Chef, because no one else would believe him about no one believed him about the killer turkeys, but then he calls Chef, and then he says, Chef, you're the only person that would listen to me. Because, honestly, again, Chef is probably the most intelligent, Chef is probably the most intelligent adult in South Park, and that's all I really have to say about that. Said that before. Another thing. Oh, probably the biggest theme that I saw in this episode was starving children in Africa, or well, okay. So if you're watching TV, it's usually late at night. They have those infomercials kind of saying, hey, send money now and help save a kid. Like $30 will feed a whole family for a month or something like that. So in America, I feel as if because we are a capitalist society, we kind of think that money will. And there's a plane going by. Sorry. Maybe you heard that. Oh no. Okay, so because I heard I was watching a documentary and this woman in the documentary said, we live in a capitalist society and we think as capitalists that the best way to solve anything is to throw money at it. And I will be honest and say that I have fallen into that. Whenever there's a problem, I just kind of think, well, if I send money, it will be fine. I don't need to do anything. Yay! And then I kind of get off scotch-free. But, although money is important, I think we should go out of our way to help people. I realize that, going to Africa might be a little bit more... Going to a foreign country in general would be a lot more tricky. Or it'd be very difficult to do so. So, maybe, rather than just sending money to Africa, you could do that, and, if there's a local food bank, why don't you just volunteer there or something? But yeah, just the whole theme with the starving children of Africa, just these kids are dying, and I just I think it also showed the American selfishness, because the kids, they honestly only sent money in the first place because they wanted a sports watch. Because in the ad, it was if you send money, we'll send you a sports watch. And so I think that was the only reason why the kids did it at first. And then you could even see Cartman's selfishness, because he was treating Starving Marvin like Kitty, saying, no, no, Marvin, this is my pot pie. That's a bad Starving Marvin. Theme, Another thing that was pointed out was probably American excess, how here we have so much stuff that we don't even really, and we're really wasteful too, because they were at an all-you-can-eat buffet, and I have nothing against those because I go to there frequently. Go places like that, and my school cafeteria is like that. It's buffet style. But anyways, yeah, they were at a buffet, and then the appetizers came out, and Cartman was like, these are appetizers. We eat these before the main meal, so then we get more hungry. And then as soon as the food comes out, the main course, he just kind of throws away the appetizers, and that's really wasteful. I mean, food's there. Eat as much as you can, and only take as much as you can. And, to Starvin Marvin, who's lived in Ethiopia, he's probably just you just threw away perfectly good food, and you're just gorging yourself on this other stuff. Why don't we eat the other food first? So, I don't know. I feel as if in other countries, America is quite, not mocked, but people look down on us because of stuff like that. Anyways, let's see. Another thing that I found interesting is that when the adults found out, particularly Principal Victoria, when she found out that Starvin Marvin was in South Park, she was just she was telling the kids, you have to send them back now, you have to send him back now, because 8-year-olds can't be parents. And so the kids were like, then why don't you just take him in? And then she basically just said no. She was like, no. And her quote was, you're not supposed to get involved in a child's life. You're supposed to send money, and once in a while they send you a letter. So it's kind of true. Again, a lot of times, and this was the big message of the entire episode, is that we see these people on television, and they're not really people anymore. They're just kind of things or causes, and it's you send money to these people, but then you forget that they're actually human and they're not just on a television screen. This kind of reminds me of Cause for Scars, which was It was the Stand Your Ground episode where everyone found out, where everyone was like, oh my gosh, Jesus took a whole bunch of dope when he was on the cross, which he didn't. But it reminded me of that episode where people just take up causes for like no reason. Kind of. But anyways, yeah, like the people on TV, they're actual people. They're not just like they're people. They're not just causes that you send money to so you can feel better about yourself. And again, it just bothers me how sometimes these people aren't seen as people, they're just seen as a way for me to feel better. So, yeah, that sucks. So, my dad's upstairs in his room. So, okay, so other stuff that I found worth noting was, first off, this episode kind of reminds me of Osama bin Laden Has Farty Pants, which is season 5, episode 9. It just kind of did, because it was the whole interaction with a kid from a different country type thing. I don't know how to describe it. It just, parallels were there. It just reminded me so much of it. Another thing is, I kind of think that the creators of South Park have like an obsession with Charles Dickens, because there was a talk in the episode Wendy and Cartman were going back and forth about like taxes and the poor and poorhouses, and then Mr. Garrison was like, okay guys, that's enough Charles Dickens for right now. And even Pip is like, you can just tell that he's I don't know, he's just like completely ripped off of Charles Dickens, and then Pip has an entire Charles Dickens episode dedicated to him. I think it was a Christmas episode, but still, like, I just think that they're obsessed with Charles Dickens, and I'll probably say this again when Pip has his own episode. And again, we need to bring back Pip, please. Another thing is, this is the first time Kevin is acknowledged, and Kevin is Dr. Mephisto's monkey son? I don't know. It's the first time he's acknowledged, so that's special. There was also a Braveheart reference where Chef and the leader of the Turkey army had face paint on. It was Celtic face paint. And also, in the video game, you can have Celtic face paint as an add-on. That's fun. I use it, but I dyed pink. Also, Kenny was killed by an evil turkey. That's kind of no surprise there. But I think that in this episode, they were a little too hard on Sally Struthers. I just think that how much they made fun of her was kind of inappropriate. I was reading on Wikipedia, because that's where all 100% true information comes off, and that's not half-assing it whatsoever. But yeah, so Sally Struthers, I was reading, she was actually a fan of the show, but then when she saw this episode, she was completely offended. And even Trey and Matt felt a little bad. And I do feel as if they went a little too far when they made fun of her. And they kind of said that, there was like a quote from, I think it was Matt, if not then Trey. They just kind of said, well, if you're going to try to help out the starving children in Africa, maybe you should lay off the Twinkies. I just thought that was really mean and that was uncalled for, honestly. Like, yeah, someone might be obese. Like, some people are obese because of genetics. Some people are obese because they choose that way. Some people can't help it and they're just kind of big. But to say something like that is just so rude. To say that she needs to lay off the Twinkies before she helps starving children in Africa. Maybe she can't help how big she is. And either way, like, who are you to say that she's not allowed to have a heart for people because of her weight or because of her size or what she looks like or whatever? I just thought that was very close-minded. So yeah, that concludes season 1, episode, oh crap, I forgot, 8? Is this 8? Wait, let me check my notes. Wait, no, damn it, no! Yes, this concludes season 1, episode 8, Starvin Marvin. I am so sorry for my camera quality right now. It's acting really weird, but yeah. Thanks for watching, the people who watch this. Bye!